G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. We are where it all began. We're at Backup's grave. You know, one day we may do an origin story for Backup, but not today. Today we're looking at my vineyard. So if you haven't guessed, we are on my old single player world, which I haven't played for a really long time. And looking at my inventory, I think I was working on nether tunnels, which is pretty boring, so no wonder I haven't played it for a while. But we are not doing a single player episode today. We are going back to the Diamond Society. I just wanted to have a look at my old vineyard, because that's what we're doing today. We're going to do a new and improved one. Like, this is tiny. This is nothing. I did this years ago. We're going to do something much better, but it is sort of going to stick to the same sort of style. But if you look at these vines, they're all in dead straight lines. I'm not going to do that this time. And look, everything seems just like a bit squared off. Yeah, it doesn't look that natural. We're going to improve upon that. And the vines themselves. See, here I've used birch fence posts as the stems for the vines. We're not doing that today because I was looking around on the Google and I found a picture where someone had built grapevines and they'd used something very cool for the trunks. What do you call them? The stems of the vines. So we're going to try that as well, and hopefully it'll look pretty cool. And we're going to be building this in the Greco-Roman area where Crafting Mantis has been doing a lot of building. And she's already built some farms out there and they're looking really cool. But she has a different style to me. It's not that noticeable, but nowadays I tend to go pretty messy with my farms and stuff. Leaves everywhere and different blocks all over the place. It's a little bit overgrown. And hers is a lot cleaner. It's a very cool look. I can just never seem to accomplish it very well. I much prefer just to go messy. But another thing we're going to do is, it's no good just building a big field full of vines and saying, yes, this is a vineyard. We've got to think of something else. Something like this. This is my old wine cellar. And I've actually got a tutorial on how to build this exact room. It's a very old tutorial and the video quality is very bad. But it does show you how to build this room exactly. So I'm going to do something like this. Not as big, but I'm going to need some big barrels for wines, of course. These look pretty cool. Yes, I'm happy with them. And, this thing, I forget what you call it. It's to crush grapes. So it's got a handle at the top, and you turn it, and it's kind of like a corkscrew, and all the grapes get crushed down the bottom. So we're going to need you somewhere in the build. But I'm not sure yet. Whatever we do, we've got to make it fit in with the style of buildings that's already there. So that's enough of me hanging around on the single player world. I'm getting nostalgic. And if we stay here, we might be stuck here for a while. So let's get going. So what is wrong with this picture, guys? Any guesses? Have a look. Something is missing. We are back on the Diamond Society now. And I've been laying down the foundations, so to speak, for my new vineyard. And you can see I've got the lines of grapes. Well, there's no grapes yet, but I've got the lines in nice curvy lines. So it's going to be a lot more detailed. And the thing I was hinting at before, so we're going to have our grapevines coming out like this. Rather than have fence posts as the stems for the vines, we are using dead bushes because they look super realistic. How good is that? I think it looks pretty good. And we're going to add a few vines and things just for a bit more detail. And I think this is going to look pretty cool when it's all done, if I don't run out of dead bushes. It's a little bit worrying because we've got the world border around us here, so if I run out of dead bushes, then I run out. So and I plan to be doing a pretty big vineyard. So luckily we've got lots and lots of deserts inside of our world border, but I'm going to go ahead and get all these grapevines in and we'll see what it looks like. Alrighty, the vineyard is all done, and you may have noticed I was a little bit sneaky in that time lapse. I'd actually already built this all these fields over here, and when I was talking down there, I was just a bit careful not to look up in this direction. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, and it is a lot bigger than the one I did in my single player world. And we've got our vines that have started to grow, so just a little bit of extra detail, and these bushes do look really cool. One problem though, just over here, there is a drastic color change with the vines. You see this entire, like this, you think it's savanna over here, right? It looks like savanna, but we are actually on desert. If I dig out a few blocks here, it's all sand underneath. A crafting mantis reclaimed this entire area from a desert. So all these vines, these winery vines, they're that weird colour because they're in a desert, and then I move over into a plains biome here, and we've got super green. So that's no good. I'm going to have to get rid of that little bit of the vines and maybe put something there, because there's no reason for the vines not to cover that bit of area. So I thought maybe a tree, because Mantis has done a lot of trees over there in her little, a wheat field over there. But then I'm going to have the same problem. The leaves on the tree are going to be a completely different colour. So I don't know. We'll have to think about that. And usually with my farms, around the edges here, I would start putting in my messy block palette, just all kinds of things on the ground, just looking really cool. But that is my style of messy building, and you can see Mantis's style over here that she's already done with a few farms. It's a lot cleaner, like she has the bushes doing the border all around it, and I don't want to depart from her style, so I'm just going to leave that for the time being and see what she wants to do with it. And I haven't put like a little fence or bushes around these vines, because I didn't want them to be sort of, to look like that's a field of vines and that's a field with a little fence around it. I wanted it to look like the path is just cutting its way through the vineyard rather than the vineyard being built around the path. If you know what I mean. You probably don't know what I mean, but I just wanted you to be immersed in all the vines when you're walking through here. So the next step that I talked about when we were on my single player world is all the little additions we need to do to really sell this vineyard. And I was gonna start making wine barrels and stuff, but then I thought, well, that's medieval. The style I've done the wine barrels in before, those are medieval style. We're in a Greco-Roman area. I better look up what they used. And that was a problem. They didn't use wine barrels. They used these ceramic sort of vase things. And I don't know how to build that in Minecraft. Like, I've been playing around with some designs to make it look like a wagon was full of them, but it doesn't look quite right yet, so I don't know. I think I need to get together with Mantis, because she wants to build a few things around here too, and we will figure out what we're going to do together. So until then, I need to find something else to do. So I built this new tree as a bit of an experiment, guys, because I need your help. I need you to get your comment fingers ready for typing, you know what I mean. So I've got two kinds of trees. I've got my big pine trees up the back there. They're my favourite. I love them, and I've got a smaller version of it just on that side. But I wanted to mix in another kind of tree for my forest. We're over here at the medieval area, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed. So the other day I built this tree. I think it's a pretty cool design. I really like the look. But I think I may have made it a bit too tall because you can't see the really cool trees behind that one. So I wanted to make a smaller kind of tree to see what it looked like, and I did it in a different sort of style. So that's the question is basically, which do you prefer? Do you prefer this small tree in that style, or do you prefer this tree? I think this tree does look better, but maybe a bit smaller. So I just want your help. Like, what kind of trees should I mix into my forest? Should I even be doing different kind of trees, or should I just stick with the awesome looking pine trees? I don't know. Give me your opinion on the trees. Should I do all three? I really don't know. But anyway, that didn't take me very long. We need to find something else to do. So I thought I'd come over to where we're digging out an area for our new Wither Skeleton Skull farm. Well, where Curly has been doing all the work, and I thought, well, I'll finally help do some digging. Something has happened. It looks like Curly's gone a little bit nuts with the TNT, and the only way I knew to get up there is now covered in lava. So, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. You can see he's got the flying machines up there ready to go, but oh wow, this is a mess. So I think I'm gonna have to talk to Curly and maybe organise exactly what we're doing here. Look at all that. Oh, wow. Okay. Not doing any digging today. So I'm at a little bit of a loss about what to do with this episode now that I'm sort of waiting to talk to Mantis about what we're going to do in the vineyard. So I thought, when in doubt, we will do some redstone. And I've got a little thing up here that I need to take care of. This thing. You see, just before I built my snowball farm, I had a snowman sitting up here at my item sorter, and I thought, well, I've really got to get rid of this guy. Well, the other day I needed some brown dye, so I just put this here, and now it's just sitting there. So that is telling me, Cortez, you need to build a cocoa bean farm. Now, I've been doing all my micro farms inside of these domes, but that's not going to have enough space for cocoa beans. So I've got another idea. I have a wonderful space that I've been meaning to use for something. And it's just down here. Whoosh, here we go. Got some horses down here doing nothing. But I've got all this room underneath my roads. And this is plenty of room for cocoa beans. So I might try and figure out some sort of design for this. So I'm going to hit the drawing board, guys, and we will see what I come up with. So the cocoa bean farm is all done, but not in here, because I quickly realised I didn't have enough room. If I'd put the walls of jungle wood in, then I would only have a 1 block gap. I had a bit more room in here, but I kind of want to reserve this space for walkways. I might do a whole underground system in my base at some stage. So what I decided to do was build the cocoa bean farm underneath one of my domes. Have I got any pearls? I do. Let's get out here. So I built it underneath my portal dome. You can see I got some torches all the way down there. And you can see the jungle wood. I didn't have enough cocoa beans to actually plant them all on top of the wood. So if you're expecting a marvel of redstone here, you're not going to find it. What I had to do, because I still didn't have much room, this isn't a very big space down below here, I had to figure out how to get the cocoa beans off the wall using the least amount of redstone possible. And that is all the redstone up there. It's a little contraption of droppers and observer blocks. So inside, not droppers, dispensers. So inside of all these dispensers, I've just got water. So by pushing the button on that dropper up there, the observer blocks are going to pick up the dropper getting locked and unlocked by the dropper. And that'll send 2 pulses, so it'll spit out the water, and then it will take the water back. And I've got more observers looking at that dispenser, and they'll power the block there that powers the next one. And yeah, 3 is enough to send water all the way down this wall. So, and I missed my button. Here we go. So it's not super quick. You can do this by sending a 3-tick pulse to these dispensers, so you just get a quick blade of water. But I didn't have the room for that, so we're just sending water everywhere. And the beans go a little bit everywhere. But it works, you know. That is some pretty tiny redstone for a cocoa bean farm. I'm happy. So we are going to leave it right here for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and remember, leave me a comment and tell me what I am supposed to do with that forest I'm building out at the medieval area, because I haven't got a clue what I want to do with that. So cheers, guys. I'm Cortezerino. I'll see you later.